morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Hey, welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Zonk, John Zumwalt. Good morning, John.
Good morning. I was determined I was not going to tell you my name. The Colonel's not here, everyone. I'm so sorry. I imagine you're disappointed. I'll do the best I can, but good to be here today.
All right, don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream and audio stream. That's available from our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. On your mobile device, you can get to it with YouTube. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in the search, and with a streaming device, put WEEB into that type of search. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. It is going to be nice, so nothing to worry about there. Look for sunny skies today with a high of 67. That's going to be feeling better than yesterday, but tonight clear, not as cold, 34 for low. Friday, sunny and 67. Saturday, sunshine, high of 69. A little front comes through, will give us 20% chance of showers. Otherwise, it'll be partly cloudy, a low of 42, and things cool off after that. Monday will be sunny, 47. Tuesday, 51. And Wednesday, 60. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are calm. Pressure is 30, 18. Solar radiation, 13 watts per square meter. Dew point, 30. Humidity, 74%. It is sunny and 38 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Alrighty, it is 7:37 past the hour on this Thursday morning. Colonel off and John Zumwalt here in his place, and we'll both try to fill up these 2 hours to make it something worth listening to. All right, let's start off with what we normally start off with, and that, of course, is the best of the late night Unique boys from last night. The thing is, Fallon and Seth Meyers are out doing the Olympics. Oh, boy, I bet that makes them more fun for everyone. And Jimmy Kimmel's the only one left back here with his pitiful ratings to try to entertain you. Well, Stevie, if you ever learn how to run this control board, you will have mastered a lot. Okay, take two.
You know, we're so focused on the Super Bowl, I fear that many will forget we're less than a week away from Valentine's Day, or as it's also known, the day every Kardashian's boyfriend has to spend $40,000 on rose petals. If you're single on Valentine's Day, did you know that there are apps that people use to have sex with other people now? It's true, they call them dating apps, and they're not only they're the ones you heard of, like Tinder and Bumble and all that, there are so many ways to meet people who are right up your alley. These are all real apps. HUD is for casual hookups, Cougar for older women looking for younger men, Woo Plus for plus-sized people, and Inmates if you want to date a prisoner, which is a really good idea. I think we're going to get to the point where there's an app called Mike Richardson, and it's just one guy named Mike Richardson.
Okay.
Well, you know what? That last one actually made me laugh. That the app for Mike Richardson, it's just one guy named Mike Richardson. But, Steve, I've got my same comment I always have on this. I know some people think they're funny, and so they stay in business. But when you think about all the millions of dollars these guys are making, and it should really make you laugh. There's a comedian I like named Brian Regan. He's completely clean. You'll never hear a profanity or even a curse word leave his mouth. And he makes me laugh out loud. He's very, very funny. Brian Regan. These guys, for the kind of money they're making, we should be laughing. And in case you're wondering why I'm not making you laugh, well, I'm not that funny. But anyway, I've never liked these. I haven't liked them since Johnny Carson left. And there are people out there right now going, Johnny Carson, who is he? I've never heard of him. But I thought he was funny, and he had his version of the Colonel. He had Ed McMahon, so he was pretty good. So, anyway.
All right. Spent many a night watching him, so I know what you're coming from. Chloe Kim won the gold for the U.S. women snowboarding half pipe yesterday. Just like in 2018, she won it on her first run. Every competitor gets 3 tries. Chloe's first score was better than any score from any other competitor. Here's her first run, along with a post-race comment. Here's Chloe.
Here we go. Chloe Kim dropping in the last competitor here in run number 1, the defending Olympic gold medalist.
Will this be the run that brings home the gold medal? Starting things off, huge method air. Way out the top of the pipe. Front side 1080. Nails it on the second hit. Big risk up top, gets reward. Switch 900. The combos are insane. Switch backside 540. 2 incredibly difficult tricks and ending things with the 1080. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That run right there, that is guaranteed gold.
I'm not gonna lie, I had probably one of the worst practices I've ever had, which does not put you in a good place mentally, especially out here. So I was dealing with all sorts of emotions, self-doubt, but when I was getting ready to drop into my first run, I just reminded myself that it's a brand new run and I just have to land it now. And I'm so happy I was able to do that.
Boy, that was exciting.
Well, I didn't really get a lot out of that, but I would like to say it's pretty cool. I mean, skateboarders were kind of the fringe at one time. No one probably remembers that, but they were like the bad guys. I'm really glad to see her win the gold, but I do wish we would not have participated in the Olympics. There's just so much wrong. The Chinese I don't know if anyone read about the three of the top skiers being disqualified because their clothes were too loose. The same clothes they'd been wearing for all their careers. Chinese are communists, they're liars, they're crooks. We can't expect any fair shakes from them at all. They've treated our athletes horribly.
What's wrong with the clothes being loose?
Well, they say that, look, everyone who hears me utter the following is going to know that I know nothing about skiing. The only thing I know about skiing is that if the first time you ever ski in your life, you go to Brighton Mountain in Utah, which is what I did, and it takes 3 ski lifts to get you to the top, and that's your very first run you've ever made in your life. You know nothing about skiing, and neither do the people who took you up there. But they say that the clothes that they had on were too loose, and they say, the article I read said that gives you an advantage when you're flying for distance. Now, I have no idea. I couldn't argue it one way or the other, but the Chinese are saying that it does. And that's all that matters. So they've disqualified Japan and a couple of other countries. I don't know. It gives me a bad taste to go to a country for the Olympics that there's so much wrong here with it, and a lot of it, involves our president. But
well, you were talking ski jumping, I guess.
Yeah, ski jumping. So
anyway. It acts like a wing for the ski jumper holding him up. So.
Well, if you think about this using critical thinking, you figure if they had a wing, yeah, you could see it. But if they had some baggy clothes, it looks like it would slow them down. But again, I know nothing about this, so I only know what I had read, and it just seems like there's just so much going on with the way they're treating our athletes. And China's our enemy. China is our sworn enemy, along with Korea and Iran and all the other countries that our president is being friendly with.
Well, the other thing, when you show them going off the ramp, they stay squatted till their last moment on the ramp, and they then snap up. And that's how they get their loft.
Well, you know what?
And then they put the skis in the V and their arms by their side, and they lean toward the tips of the ski as they come down the mountain. And all of a sudden they're there, and they plop their skis down for a landing.
It's amazing that they do it. Every once in a while you read about someone who had amnesia. And they had amnesia for, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And then one day, boom, they wake up and they realize who they were. And I've always thought, wouldn't it be terrible to get amnesia? And 6 years later you wake up and boom, you're halfway through a ski jump, you're in the air, and you're like, what? That wasn't funny. But then again, I'm not being paid millions of dollars to be funny. But it would be, these skiers, the things these Olympic athletes do are just beyond anything. In fact, I had one of the first skateboards in Texas because I had a cousin that worked out in California, and she sent it to me in the 60s. And we were pretty good on those skateboards, but nothing like that. Today, the things they do look like circus acts compared to back then. So, yeah, everything's just like that boy that's breaking all the records for the girls. I mean, Steve, I got to say something about that. If you're a boy and you are rated like number 300 in the nation for boy swimmers, and then you decide, you know what, I think I'll swim in the women's category and declare I'm a woman, and all of a sudden you're number one. How do you have the spine, I'll say. How do you have the spine to stand up there and say, and hold your finger in the air, number one, and be so happy when you've got two girls beside you? It's like you beat a girl, buddy. You beat a girl. And anyone who wants to argue that point, I wish they'd come on here and argue. A boy should not be competing against the girls. That is, it's just absolutely ludicrous. So.
Well, you got my vote on that. I like what rule they put in North Carolina's athletics, and they said, what you were born at birth is what competitions you're allowed to play in.
Yeah, I mean, just think how unfair it is to these girls. They've been competing all their lives as swimmers, and they're going for scholarships. They're going for records that they can break. Endorsements. This guy, swimming as a girl, is breaking all records, and it's just ruining everything. It's you know what? Where are you at? Where are you, women that speak up supposedly for women's rights? This is actually one of those things, just a no-brainer. You're stronger, and you're faster, and you're quicker if you are a man. You're not smarter. You shouldn't have any more rights than a woman, but you are quicker, stronger, and that's just the way it is. Now, someone might point to someone, they might say, well, that girl could outswim you. Of course she could. But I hate to imagine a cigarette butt floating down the river could probably outswim me. But the point is, these girls that have put their heart and soul into this for so many years, and they've got these cowardly, wimpy people up there saying, well, we need to let her swim as a man. That's wrong, and everybody knows it's wrong. Everybody knows it's ridiculous. So why are we even entertaining for a second the letting her do this or him do this? I don't care what he identifies as. That's his business, but it shouldn't ruin these girls' careers.
All right, not to say what it does to morale and self-esteem and everything else. Yep. Because you've worked your whole life to that point, literally, to perform at the peak that they can. And it will never be good enough as long as the man's in it.
That's right.
And I mean, some girls don't beat the man, but they do have a heavy advantage on them.
Yep. It's just too much to overcome, and it's not one it doesn't mean the girls haven't worked as hard as he did. He just decided, well, I can't beat the boys, so I'll go be a girl. And that's what irks me more than anything, is standing up on there and being so happy. Oh, look at it'd be like if I were to enter a 5th grade karate class, like Kramer did, if you remember that, and beat up a bunch of 5th graders, assuming I could, and going up and accepting an award. Look, I beat up the 5th grade white belts, or I better say 5-year-olds, just to make sure I can actually do it.
Well, all right. Let's see what else we have here for John to take in. Dave Chappelle, he found something that he's more opposed to than trans women: affordable housing. He showed up at a city council meeting in his hometown of Yellow Springs, Ohio, to oppose a plan to build affordable housing. The council voted not to go ahead with the plan.
I just want to say, I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they X out a $65 million a year company. I cannot believe you would make me audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
Now, I didn't really get that. What's he saying? He'll sue them if they build affordable housing?
Well, they're trying to put affordable housing in the rich neighborhoods.
Well,
And that's the master plan of the Democrats, is to have socialized housing where they'll have in any neighborhood, rich, middle class, and poor, all housed in the same building. And the government will assign you which one you live in.
well, you know, anyone that's ever even heard me breathe knows I'm against any kind of government intervention in any form or fashion, especially like that. Now, let's talk about affordable housing. Who could be against affordable housing? Let's talk about that a little bit. Free enterprise, fair market, and there are people who need houses that they can afford. Affordable housing does not mean necessarily some shack that's thrown together. We have builders in this community in North Carolina who are building what is called affordable housing, and I hate that it's called affordable housing because these are some very nice houses. Now, they're not necessarily a house that you may want to live in if you've got plenty of money, but they're houses for people who could not afford a house otherwise, who are getting their lives started, young couples, some military folks that come in here, maybe teachers that have come in, people who have been coming to our community and can't necessarily afford a house that a high-end builder would build. They're great houses. I wish we could start using that term affordable housing unless the government's involved. Now, when the government comes in and wants to build houses and says you have to build them there, because remember, when a contractor comes in to build a house and they folks use the term affordable housing, it doesn't mean the same thing as if the government comes in. And if these things are done correctly and it's okay and it meets community standards, I see no reason why anyone would come in and shut down something like that. We all, well, most of us, at one time or another, needed a house that we could actually afford, and not all of us could afford to get where we are now in our lives back then. So I hope that made some sense. But I'm never, not ever in favor of the government coming in, for example, to Pinehurst and saying you must build these houses here and now. That's not the way it should work.
All right. A security guard ruined a rare painting called Three Fugitives by drawing eyes on two of them. Why, you ask? Because he said he was bored during his first night on the job. The good news is you can see his art on a new tour out there.
Welcome, everyone, to the Museum of Contemporary Classics. Follow me. Here we have the famous painting Three Figures, but now two of them have eyes drawn on, so it's now called Three Figures, Two Be Watching You. This, of course, is Happy Mona Lisa. And over here, this is Van Gogh's Starry Night, but now it's Starship Enterprise Night. Yes. And last but not least, The Last Supper with Check. Now let's go meet the secondary artist on all of these, the overnight security guard. Just this way.
Yeah, I'm not real sure I got that, but I remember that when the kids were little, she would take us to any big city we were in, New York or Los Angeles, wherever we were. She would take us to whatever museums were there, and she mostly did it for the kids because she knew it was too late for me. And I would always take the kids immediately to the what they call the modern art floor, and I'm telling you, I've never seen such ridiculousness in my entire life. I remember one of them was a board, a 2x4 that looked like it was out of your grandfather's garage. It had a piece of barbed wire on there with a staple, and it was tacked to the wall. And I asked the guy, the guard there that patrols around, is this actually a display, or is this something that just someone's? He said, oh no, that's a display. And you see people up there looking at it like, oh my, isn't this great? I want to just tell them, look, come over to my house, come out to my garage. You are going to be amazed. I've got some stuff on sale for sale pretty reasonably there. This thing's only $100,000. I'll let you have it for $10. Stuff at my house. But as they say, art's in the eye of the beholder. So I'm not the right guy to judge it. But it's what was he doing? He was drawing eyes on paintings.
Yeah.
Well, how's he get away with that?
I don't know. Back up to it.
I mean, did he say Van Gogh? And I mean, I don't know how you. What was his job, Steve?
Security guard.
So, in other words, they hire a security guard, let's hire this guy to make sure nothing gets vandalized. Good morning, Jones. How was your shift? Pretty good. I drew these eyes on the Van Gogh. Okay, well, good. Thank goodness you're here so nothing can happen here while you're here. I'm glad nobody tried to burn the place down.
Well, it was a famous painting that had 3 heads attached to necks and the start of a T-shirt underneath that on their shoulders and all.
I'm pretty sure.
And it had no facial features. The head just looked like a little overgrown egg.
I could be wrong about this.
And he went up there and painted little circles for eyes.
I could be wrong, but I'm guessing, just a guess, that when the artist painted that, and he did not say, you know what, I'm worn out. I tell you what, man, let's put this in the museum, and maybe a random security guard will walk in with a Sharpie and finish this for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how the guy's not in jail. I don't care one way or the other. It's just an interesting story, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But that's it. Okay. It is 7:56. Some things let's finish up this. Security guard. Okay. NBC is sold out. All the ad space for the Super Bowl 56. Why don't they just put the word 56 there instead of putting a LVI? I don't get it. Anyway, with 60-second ads hitting the $7 million mark, automotive tech and entertainment companies are among the biggest spenders this year. For $7 million, though, you can spend that money on a lot of things.
A 30-second TV commercial during this year's Super Bowl could cost you $7 million. Instead of spending your money on Super Bowl ads, for $7 million, you could buy 13 Ferraris, 23,000 PlayStations, 100,000 Super Bowl jerseys, or 3,350,000 Crunchy Taco Supremes. The choice is yours. Let your advertising team think about that when you miss seeing your ad as you flush your toilet during halftime.
Well, of course, it's like anything else. It's all about the money, and they can get it good for them.
Well, you've heard the news, but what about the not headline news?
This is not headline news. The miniseries Pam and Tommy is earning good reviews. It features sex, intrigue, and drama. Like Tommy Lee himself, it's the complete package. Both Los Angeles and New York City's indoor mask mandates will be lifted this week. The cities are now in chaos after trying to book last-minute Botox appointments. Former stand-up comedian Byron Allen is trying to buy the Denver Broncos. Obviously, all the jokes are in his past, or he'd be trying to buy the Giants. And the ad campaign for the new Adidas sports bra collection includes photos of 25 naked women's breasts. How did that come out to an odd number? This is not headline news.
No, it's more like 8th grade boys humor. I don't want to sit here and criticize the guys who wrote this stuff because they're making money being funny, and I'm not. But I just wish they would be a little funnier to make us laugh a little bit.
Sometimes they hit it right on the head. Others kind of like trying to make something out of a slow news day.
Yep.
A new study shows that men are more likely to take a selfie in a gym. 46% of men admit they snap a picture for Instagram, compared to only 40% of the women. Let's see.
Let me take a selfie.
That selfie music there called Chainsmokers with Selfie. All right, coming up on 8 o'clock, all your news is straight ahead. John and I will be back on the backside of that.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It's a clear and chilly start to your morning commute. For this afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny sky. Temperatures are warm again today, and highs are back in the mid to upper 60s. Clear sky this evening and overnight tonight. We'll start in the low to mid 30s Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see another sunny and warm afternoon. Our highs in the mid to upper 60s once again, and temperatures staying just as warm for Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 PM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. If the experts are correct, today's inflation report will probably come as no surprise to many Americans. Economists expected to show that prices rose 7.1% last month from December, a 40-year high. Year over year, it could be an even larger 7.3% price spike. Even in blue states, coronavirus restrictions being eased.
As the Omicron surge abates, even states with strong virus guidelines are making plans to lift school mask mandates by the end of February or March. That includes Connecticut, Delaware, New Jersey, Oregon, and Rhode Island. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker announced public school students and staff will no longer have to wear face coverings indoors starting February 28th. Emma Lockwood, a parent in Arlington, Massachusetts, was surprised by the timing.
I can't wait to get rid of them. On the other hand, I feel like it would be good to wait until everybody's eligible to be vaccinated.
The governors of New York and Illinois say they will soon end their indoor mask mandates for most public settings, but keep it for schools. I'm Jennifer King.
Later today, President Biden will host Senate Judiciary Committee Democrats. They'll talk about the Supreme Court.
The sit-down with fellow Democrats comes as the president considers a high court nominee to replace retiring Justice Breyer. The White House says Mr. Biden has also had conversations with Republicans this week as part of his outreach. The president has pledged to select a black woman to serve on the Supreme Court with an expected announcement before the end of the month.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Fresh average of the major polls puts the president's job approval rating at a dismal 39.8%. That from Real Clear Politics, 54.4% disapprove. It was an accidental blow to the head. His family says that preceded the death of Bob Saget, 65-year-old actor-comedian found dead last month in his Florida hotel room. Wall Street, Dow futures up 67 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign. And we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Tens of thousands of Russian troops involved in military drills in Belarus near Ukraine's northern border. Exercises described by NATO as the region's largest since the Cold War.
Moscow says they are rehearsal against the threat of external aggression, but the 10-day maneuvers bring Russian army units for the first time within striking distance of Kiev. For weeks, Russia has been amassing more than 100,000 troops along Ukraine's eastern flank, parts of it under the control of client separatists anyway. And to the south, just off Ukraine's coast, Russia is also holding naval maneuvers. Ukraine has called them part of a hybrid war which makes navigation in the Black and Azov Seas impossible. This means that Ukraine is virtually surrounded by Russian forces, some of them in permanent bases like in Moldova, which leaves only its western border with NATO unthreatened.
The BBC's Sasha Schlichter reporting. News and analysis, townhall.com. The United States has 2 more gold medals at the Winter Olympics.
Nathan Chen and Chloe Kim strike gold on Thursday morning in Beijing. Chen posted the best scores in both the short program and the free skate to amass 322.6 points and win the men's single skate. Meanwhile, it's back-to-back golds for Kim, who repeats in the women's snowboard halfpipe, throwing down a 94 with her first run, which featured a frontside 1080 followed by a switch 900, a switch backside 540, and a finishing 1080. Defending champ Shaun White will shoot for his 4th career gold when he competes in the men's final on Friday. And the USA women's curling team tops the Russian Olympic Committee in its first of 9 round-robin games. I'm Denny Kapp.
Russian figure skating superstar 15-year-old Kamila Valieva reportedly tested positive for a banned substance. The Russian newspaper RBC says it is a heart medication and it puts in jeopardy the team gold medal that she helped to win earlier in the week. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The best in-store service, unbeatable prices, locally owned. Hi, this is Catherine Phelps. Joe and I are the new owners of your local Sears hometown store. We're creating relationships and helping our customers make an informed buying decision is our business. The month of February, all home appliances are up to 30% off and extra discounts with your Sears card or 12 months no interest. And remember, we lease to own every day. Shop your locally owned Sears hometown store in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
This is more than just innovation. This is smarter innovation. This is GE Profile at Keys Appliance Center in downtown Aberdeen. This is no spills autofill or hands-free fill-up from your fridge. This is no preheat air fry right in your oven or food that's crispy without the oil. This is an in-oven cookpan so you can check on your food from your phone. This is smarter innovation. This is GE Profile. Upgrade today with your local appliance experts at Keys Appliance Center, located at 104 East Main Street, downtown Aberdeen. Call us at 910-944-8887 or shop online at keysappliance.com.
At Pool Automotive, being local and family-owned isn't just a title. It's the lifeblood of our business. The moment you walk into our Aberdeen showroom, you'll be treated like family. You see, we believe that all our guests deserve quality, reliable used vehicles, and we have the inventory and finance options to make it happen. When you buy a new vehicle, the second you drive it off the lot, it's already depreciated by thousands. Before you throw that money away, come to Pool Automotive and check out our huge selection of premium vehicles. We have high-quality, off-lease vehicles, most of which are one-owner cars with low mileage and remaining factory warranties. Something else we do to save you even more? We don't charge documentation fees. Yep, you heard us right. No doc fees here. Come in today. 500 South Sandhills Boulevard in Aberdeen or call 910-637-0057 and experience the pool advantage.
Give your desk and your back an upgrade. Turn any old workstation into a sit and stand workstation with Malera raised desktop from Sandhills Office Supply. With easy access levers for simple adjustments, this space-saving design is affordable too. Experience the benefits of an Alera lifting workstation with a demo at Sandhills Office Supply on US 1 in Southern Pines next to Smithfield's Barbecue.
And CNN News. I'm Mike Riley, a Duke University expert, doesn't believe that Russian President Vladimir Putin will actually invade Ukraine. Charles Dunlap, a retired Major General in the U.S. Air Force, tells us.
Among other things, he's crushing the illusion that the Ukrainians might have had that any nation on planet Earth would come to their aid in terms of putting troops on the ground. I think that will have a significant psychological effect on the Ukrainian people.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was at a NATO headquarters in Brussels today, meeting with others about ongoing tensions with Russia. Moscow continues to build up troops along Ukraine's border. He said the British intelligence was grim.
This is probably the most dangerous moment, I would say, in the course of the next few days, in what is the biggest security crisis that Europe has faced for decades.
Protest in Western Canada against COVID-19 restrictions has severely disrupted truck traffic from crossing the U.S.-Canada border. Ahmed Singh is hoping things clear up so he can continue to move with his truck.
We just have to roll to feed our families, so we just need to go.
As actual police are investigating an accidental shooting involving a 5-year-old, the question of gun safety remains on the minds of many. Lieutenant Russell Crisp with APD's Criminal Investigations Unit told WLOS the child is in critical but stable condition.
The child is at Mission Hospital, receiving treatment there from them. We always do encourage people to safely secure their firearms.
A highly contagious and deadly form of bird flu was found in dozens of wild birds in North Carolina. Dr. Matt Kose is a professor of viral immunology at North Carolina State University and told CBS 17.
Catch it early and we can keep it contained with just a couple of farms. It should be relatively
get infected by COVID-19, but you won't get as sick if you're up to date with your vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters protect against severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Make sure your family is up to date on their vaccines and boosted. They're tested, safe, and recommended for everyone 5 and older. And they're free, even if you don't have insurance. Don't wait to vaccinate or get boosted. Find vaccines and boosters near you at myspot.nc.gov.
If you or someone you know has been the victim of a crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Services is here to provide support. The office provides a range of free, confidential services to help you regain yourself, receive compensation for damages incurred, protect yourself and your family, and move beyond the stigma of being victimized. Visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
Tesla is being sued for racial discrimination.
The lawsuit was filed on behalf of hundreds of employees who say black workers are subjected to racial slurs and discriminated against. And according to the allegations, Tesla's supervisors and managers were active participants. The lawsuit claimed racist writing on factory walls, restrooms, lockers, and workstations is commonplace, including pictures of swastikas and the Confederate flag. Tesla called the lawsuit misguided and is asking the court to pause the case and take other steps to ensure that facts and evidence will be heard. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says 3 people, including a 7-year-old child, were wounded in a shooting near Mebane and went to the hospital in a bullet-riddled car. Orange County Sheriff Charles Blackwood says,
We have some people that we're speaking to, which will probably lead to some more charges.
John Brown, the last of 3 escaped Tennessee prisoners, is still on the run after Tobias Carr and Timothy Sarver died in a high-speed chase over the weekend. The State Bureau of Investigation has taken the lead in the search for Brown and the investigation into the robbery and chase.
We're looking for him, and we're following all the investigative leads.
The new CEO of Peloton did not have a good first day on the job.
3, 2, 1. After Peloton laid off thousands of employees this week, the company held a virtual meeting to introduce its new CEO, Barry McCarthy. The meeting was abruptly cut short, though, when current and just let go employees railed into the new top dog, posting angry comments. One person wrote, "I'm selling all my Peloton apparel to pay my bills." Another, who was fired, called the company tone deaf after Peloton offered them a free year-long membership as part of their severance package.
Congrats, you played yourself.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. For the day ahead, we'll see another mostly sunny sky, beautiful day for outdoor plans with highs today in the mid to upper 60s. For this evening and overnight tonight, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Temperatures will start off in the lower 30s Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see another mostly sunny afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 60s for Friday, and temperatures staying just as warm for Saturday. With the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we have mostly sunny skies, 38 degrees, humidity 74%, dew point 31. Pressure is 3010, winds are calm, and solar radiation 26 watts per square meter. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning. A pilot at the Moore County Airport suffered a bad day. He also suffered an unexpectedly rough landing Wednesday evening as after taking a dive on the airport's runway. First responders received a call about the plane crash on February 9th around 6 p.m. Emergency crews gathered on the runway and around the plane to determine the cause of the crash and clear the scene. The pilot was the only occupant in the plane, but did not sustain any serious injuries. The crash did, however, result in a small fire in the grass area along the runway. First responders on the scene were able to extinguish the flames before the fire could be put out and before it could be caused serious damage. A plane, a Sirius SR-22, did take damage. At the time of the investigation, the nose of the plane was on the ground with visible damage to the wings and front end. Part of the runway remained closed off as wreckage was cleared and examined. That's your The crash is under investigation at this time. A 35-year-old man turned himself in on Tuesday in connection with a theft at Pinecrest High School, according to Moore County Public Schools officers in the news advisory on Wednesday. Moore County Schools police would like to thank the community members who assisted in identifying the suspect that was pictured in the February 2nd press release. As a result, warrants were issued for the suspect. According to the police, Rodney Wilson of High Point was charged with a felony for breaking and entering and larceny. Police said he stole athletic equipment on January 27th at the field house at the school. And Moore County Sheriff's Office is warning the public of a scam that is circulating around the county. In recent reports, citizens are contacted and told they are speaking with a representative of Medicare. They state that a new Medicare card will be sent to their home with a new number on it and includes benefits that seem too good to be true, like offering vision and dental without copays. To get this new card and keep coverage active, you must ask for your billing information. This is a scam. Should you get a call about your Medicare card, hang up and call Medicare numbers on your card. And a wanted suspect, the Moore County Sheriff's Department was searching for arrest on April 8th, on January 20, 2022. Moore County Sheriff's Office received a report of larceny of 2 four-wheelers and a trailer from a residence in Robbins. Rodolfo Sanchez, 29 of Robbins, was charged by Sheriff's Department on 3 counts of larceny of a motor vehicle. Sanchez has additional outstanding warrants for its arrest for multiple jurisdiction charges, including felony plea to elude arrest, felony possession of a Schedule II substance, felony breaking and entering, felony larceny of a firearm, possession of stolen firearms, identity theft, felon larceny of a motorcycle, and conspiracy and resisting arrest. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hill Sentinel. And, of course, you can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information anytime. It is 8:18. Sports is next right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Your morning sports report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years' experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rexby. The losses continuing to pile up for NC State. The Wolfpack losing its 5th straight game last night at home to Wake Forest, 69-51 the final. Coach Kevin Keats asked if his team is starting to be frustrated.
Well, we got to take the positive. I mean, for 36 minutes, it was a good game. And then the last 4, it wasn't. And we have to take the positive. It's a long year. You know, you get into February, it's the dog years of basketball, any sport that's been going on for we're a 2-semester sport. You know, they're competitors in that locker room. They don't like losing.
Elsewhere in the ACC last night, Pittsburgh beat a diminished Florida State squad 56-51 to end its 4-game skid. Miami pulled away late for a 79-70 win over Georgia Tech. The Bulls picked up an easy win over the stumbling Charlotte Hornets, as we hear from Dave Ferry.
DeMar DeRozan dropped in 36 points, and Zach LaVine had 27 as the Bulls dealt the Hornets their 6th straight loss, 121-109. Nikola Vucevic added 18 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists to help Chicago get within 1 game of the Eastern Conference leading Heat. The Bulls shot 56% from the field, including 48.5% from three-point range. LaMelo Ball had 33 points and 9 rebounds for Charlotte, which made just 13 of 43 three-pointers and is shooting 27.6% from downtown during the skid. I'm Dave Ferry.
U.S. increasing its gold medals at the Olympics. Here's Steve Futterman.
It's double gold for the U.S. here in Beijing today. Nathan Chen, as expected, wins the men's figure skating competition. He completed 5 quadruple jumps, blew the field away, won the competition by more than 22 points. In the women's half-pipe competition, Chloe Kim wins gold for a second straight Olympics. Her first run of 94 points turned out to be the best of the day. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Winter Olympics in Beijing.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
Schools all over North Carolina have improved their STEM education offerings and are saving energy from the NC Green Power Solar Plus Schools Grant. And your school can too. The 2022 grant period is open now. Recipient schools receive an educational solar installation, a weather station, a STEM curriculum, and teacher training. Any North Carolina K-12 school can apply for a Solar Plus Schools Grant. Learn more at ncgreenpower.org. Act now. The application period ends February 28th. Apply at ncgreenpower.org.
Alternative Power knows more is happening at home now than ever. And when a winter storm causes your power to go out, life is disrupted. A Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power guards the home against blackouts caused by weather of all types. Financing options are available. And act now for a free 10-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Gain peace of mind with a Generac automatic standby generator. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
An NFL player in legal trouble. Here's Rita Foley.
An NFL player has turned himself in on a manslaughter charge. Washington Commanders safety DeShazer Everett turned himself into authorities after an investigation found he was going more than twice the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit in December when his car slammed into some trees in Chantilly, Virginia, and rolled over. Everett was seriously injured. A passenger, Olivia Peters, died. She reportedly was his longtime girlfriend. Everett's been charged with involuntary manslaughter, but his lawyer says they will vigorously defend him. Everett's been released from custody after posting $10,000 bond, according to the Washington Post, which references Everett's lawyer's statement. I'm Rita Foley.
Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Carolina Power and Generators knows that protecting your home is always top priority, and securing a dependable source of power is a simple yet important way of protecting what's yours. Just think about it. Just one power outage could potentially cost you hundreds, even thousands of dollars, from flooded basements, frozen pipes, spoiled food, and more. The generator guys at Carolina Power and Generators can help you protect your biggest asset with a whole home standby generator. It's simple. Your whole home standby generator comes on automatically when the power goes out, while you stay safe in the comfort of your own home. Call the generator experts today at 910-241-4677 to schedule a free in-home assessment or visit generacnc.com. Carolina Power and Generators, 910-241-4677.
Aaron Cooper here with Cooper Ford. To say the past year and a half has been tough is an understatement. And it's during these times that we truly value the community in which we all live in. At Cooper Ford, we continue to do all we can to pour support back into the community because taking care of each other is what it's all about. And that's why we won't have any market adjustment stickers or any of our new Fords like so many other dealers. We believe in fair and honest pricing and have from day one. So please come see us here in beautiful Carthage or visit us on the web at cooperford.net.
Cooper Ford, working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Replacing a roof isn't just shingles, it's a complete engineered system. At Elite Roofing, we recognize the importance of that system. We're certified installers of all the roofing products we use, with over 28 years of experience in superior residential and commercial roofing. New roof, re-roof, and repair. We stand behind our work with a product and craftsmanship warranty. Call 910-757-0505 today for a free estimate or visit our website at eliteroofing.nc.com. That's 910-757-0505.
From start to finish, we get the job done right. Professional and caring, you're comfortable day or night. We're the local family, you can count on us. Right there, right on time, the ones you come to trust. 4 Seasons Heating and Air. Get comfortable.
War Dogs Army Surplus is Moore County's largest selection of Army surplus. They buy, sell, and trade Army surplus, and they'll match any legitimate offer from competitors with a price match guarantee. They'll match and beat any competitor's price by 10%. With the largest selection of vintage and modern gear and collectibles, War Dogs has everything you're looking for. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, or call 910-920-7749. That's 910-920-7749. War Dogs. We offer more and sell for less.
Hi, this is Rodney Swarms with Plumbing Night. We know that plumbing emergencies can happen at any time. In fact, they seem to happen at the most inconvenient times. And then inviting an unknown plumber into your home, that can add to the stress of the situation. The Plumbing Night wants to alleviate any stress about inviting a technician into your home by guaranteeing that we have not only the very best plumbers, but also the most knowledgeable plumbers. Before any of our employees are hired, all of the employees must undergo drug testing and a thorough background check. If they don't pass, they aren't hired. No exception. Once they're hired and part of the team, they receive continuous technical and professional training to ensure that they are the very best at their trade. This training is week after week, month after month, year after year. This training is what got us into community college to teach the plumbing trade. So the next time you have an emergency, call the Plumbing Night. They're known for extraordinary service and integrity.
Call the Plumbing Night at 639-5555, day or night, or on the web at theplumbingnight.com.
February 14th is just around the corner. You know what you're getting your special Valentine? Well, if you want the best, then work with the best. Order your flowers from Jack Haddon Floral on Main Street in Aberdeen. From a single stem rose to a gigantic bouquet of fresh-cut flowers, they've got you covered. Don't let the supply chain weigh you down. Impress your Valentine with the best floral arrangement in Moore County. Order through their website at jackhaddon.com or call 910-944-1071. That's 910-944-1071. Have something in mind other than flowers? Select a unique gift from Lily Rose Home and Gifts right next door. There's a wide selection of Valentine's gifts that are sure to please. Military and first responders receive a 10% discount. That's Jack Haddon Floral and Lily Rose Home and Gift on Main Street in Aberdeen.
Sandy Ridge Memory Care provides all the amenities of home while providing personalized resident care and a dedication to a safe, secure, and comfortable environment for your loved one. Providing care for dementia and Alzheimer's population has been our specialty for 20 years. Research has proven that a loving, structured, and intimate home environment successfully fulfills the needs of both the one affected by dementia and Alzheimer's, as well as the family caregivers. As one of the largest memory care facilities in North Carolina, we feature 3 separate secure units within our community. Each wing is designed for individual needs and preferences. Call for an appointment or just drop in to tour our facility and discover for yourself the care that sets us apart. Located only minutes away from Moore County and surrounding areas, Sandy Ridge Memory Care is the right place at the right time. On Bowman Road in Candor or online at sandyridgeliving.com. Call 910-974-6000. That's 974-6000.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom. Always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. We kind of have some unwritten rules in our society. One of them is that you can't really criticize someone for something unless you're in their group. For example, if I were to criticize homeless people, it wouldn't be taken nearly as well as if a homeless person criticized them. That's true among religions and race and gender and lots of other things. There's one group that I fit into that I don't think you're going to argue with me about. That group would be the group commonly known as old white men. So I'd like to take this time to talk about one of the other fellows in our group. His name is Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr. He's currently sitting in the chair where the President of the United States is supposed to sit. Every day we hear something he said or done that indicates to us that he's losing it. By losing it, I mean his ability to think and remember and all those other cognitive abilities are severely handicapped. His accusations are always followed by, I hate to say it, but blah, 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 because he's old. He's not our grandfather. He's the president of the United States. He needs to step down. He's just not that bright. We all reach a point where we can't think the way we once could. I have, but I'm not the president. Now, in fairness, I can still outthink most Democrats and for sure any leftists. So, Joe, as one old guy in this group to another, I hope you have a nice day. From the Zoom Wall Zone.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. It's a clear and chilly start to your morning commute. For this afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny sky. Temperatures are warm again today, and highs are back in the mid to upper 60s. Clear sky this evening and overnight tonight. We'll start in the low to mid 30s Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see another sunny and warm afternoon. Our highs in the mid to upper 60s once again, and temperatures staying just as warm for Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
I hope you guys packed your umbrellas.
I just wish I'd brought an umbrella.
And why is that?
Today is February the 10th. It's National Umbrella Day.
It's National Umbrella Day.
Yes. Are umbrellas even available?
I brought umbrellas!
I always want to get me one of those good umbrellas.
Umbrellas? How many does she want?
What do you need an umbrella for?
It is National Umbrella Day.
Help myself to a few of the better umbrellas.
Come on, buddy. It's showtime.
Hearts go astray, leaving her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Oh yeah, filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forget, where's the love we once knew? Open up your eyes, then you realize here I am with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied. Everlasting love from the very start. Open up your heart, be a lasting part of everlasting love. Oh.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. Time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams. Colonel's out this morning, but standing in is the wisdom of John Zumwalt. Good morning, John.
Good morning, and as a second stringer right behind the Colonel, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad you let me in, Coach.
All right, don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available now at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the page is where the audio video links located. In the upper right-hand corner of all our pages has another icon. It says on the air, listen live. Click that once and you're listening that quick to our 24-hour-a-day stream of our programming. Weather-wise for us today here in the Sandhills area, well, we're going to have some nice weather for the remainder of this week. That's just all there is to it, so you might as well partake of it. Sunny today, 67 for a high. That's pretty good. And tonight, clear, 34. Tomorrow, duplicate of today, sunny with a high of 67. Then Friday night, clear and 42. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 69. Then for Saturday night, partly cloudy with scattered showers, low around 40. Sunday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, a high of 47. And Monday, back to full sunshine, 45 for a high, 51 on Tuesday. Right now around the Sandhills, winds that come. Pressure 3811. Solar radiation 33 watts per square meter. Dew point 31. Humidity 70%. It is sunny and 40 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:35, 35 past the hour on this Thursday morning, and, well, there are plenty of things going on, but John's chomping at the bit to tell you about a couple of them, John.
Well, actually, I am. First, let me tell you about this one. We're giving when I say we, Maureen Kruger, former district attorney here who decided to retire and not run again, and myself are both concealed carry permit teachers. And we're giving another class at the American Legion on February the 19th. It'll start at 9 o'clock. And I want you to know that this is a really good class. I've got nothing to do with how good it is, but Maureen does. These classes are designed primarily to teach you, to let you know, to inform you as much as possible about when you're carrying a legal weapon, when you may shoot, and when you may not shoot. And try to make you understand as best we can so that you will be able to make that decision when the time comes. We never tell you, do not shoot. If this happens, do shoot if this happens, but rather try to give you a very good understanding of the law. And it's very interactive. And that'll be on February the 19th. And the American Legion will be the host, and we're going to give every nickel that we make, every dime, not keep any expenses or anything, to the American Legion. It's not much, but it's a wonderful group of people and a good cause, and we're gonna do that to support them. So if you thinking about taking a class, I hope you will. We only have a few openings in that, so I expect it to fill up pretty quick. Steve, I want to say a word about the book that's making the news so much in Moore County. The book that was turned in by a citizen, and that they asked the schools to look at it, and the schools formed what they call a committee. The committee looked at it, and they said this book in 2 locations was perfectly okay. I don't think it is okay. They're going to do some more of their bureaucratic stuff, and they'll probably determine, yes, it's okay. One of the books that's in the library is in an elementary school library, and that means a kid could be 6, 7 years old that gets a hold of this book. Now, the leftists have come up with an excellent word, 2 words actually, and they're very good at thinking of these things. The 2 words they have come up with are book banning. They're accusing anyone who doesn't like this book, being in a first grade library, is in favor of banning books. One guy said, well, I read Mein Kampf, and I didn't go out and kill anyone, but as I reminded him, lots of people did read that book, and lots of people were killed, millions in fact, because of that book and the ideas in that book. The word porn appears in this book for children. A little child is laying in the bathtub, and I won't go into any more detail, but it talks about what's bobbing in front of him, and his brother says, hey dude, I thought you were looking at porn. Now, why is this upsetting? It's upsetting because why should a little child in the first grade even have to read the word porn? Because they go home and ask mommy, daddy, what is porn? If their parents want to introduce them to porn, well, first of all, that's illegal to do that, to show them porn. But why would you want your young child to even learn that word? This is about a girl, or rather about a boy who wants to become a girl. This is not commentary on that feeling of her wanting to do that, him wanting to do that. This whole argument has nothing to do with that. In this particular case, it has to do with this book is inappropriate to be in the first grade. And by the way, it's in high school too. And you know what they said about why they're keeping it in high school? One of the reasons they gave, you ready for this? They said because this book is written for whatever level, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and that a lot of their high schoolers can't read well enough, and so they keep books like this in the library so that they have something to read. I have an idea for you. Why don't you teach high school's children to be able to read? That way, Ed Dennison, these high school graduation rates that you're so proud of, that you quote often, but you forget to tell us kids can't read. 25% of them that graduate cannot read the standard. And again, I'll say it, 7% of the black children who graduate, 7% can get into a college. The rest of them can't, because unless they take remedial classes of some sort. I'm going to read you a quote from a lady on Facebook. I'm not going to tell you her name. She was having a discussion with school board member David Hensley. The reason I'm not going to give you her name is because I don't think she's a public figure, and I think that it's my feeling that you should be able to say what you want to say on Facebook without me coming on the radio and commenting on it, giving your name. So I'm not going to do that to you. If you want to call me something or call me a name or comment, I won't come on here unless you're a public figure, and some of you moo-moo wearing mamas in the basement who constantly are popping off, you are public figures. She said this, and I want this to soak into you. And I believe she works at the schools, by the way, but I'm not sure. She says, quote, and if it isn't your kid, it isn't your business. If it isn't your kid, it isn't your business. So the implication there is, hey, it's not your kid in school. You keep your own mouth shut. And that's kind of been the adopted theory was
that a quote from one of the employees at the school? I'm
not sure if she's an employee or not, Steve. I just saw this a while ago.
Okay.
So I'm not going to bust her out. But if this kind of has been the attitude under Dr. Grimacy, and I don't want to spend time pounding Dr. Grimacy because he had the good sense to resign when he did. It's a shame they're praising him so much, but they are. He's a big part of the problem that we have now, but it looks like the man who took over is walking right in his shoes. But let's just say a word. I want to use two words. You want to talk about book banning? Okay, I want to use the word cover-up. How could you talk about book banning when we're trying to ban a book that is inappropriate for children? We're not trying to ban, look at Tommy run, see Tommy, isn't that wonderful? The book, and I will use the word ban, there are some books that should be banned. Would you prefer prohibited from children looking at? What if, well, I'm not even going to give you examples of magazines or books that you could put in that library that would be inappropriate. I don't need to. Think of a filthy magazine in your mind right now. That shouldn't be in the library. Think of a book that contains a great deal of profanity. That shouldn't be in the library. There have been a lot of books that were banned, and if you look them up, you'll see books like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I'm not even going to argue on whether or not they should have been banned, but they were all banned by leftists. You're the ones who are doing the banning, but when it comes to anything that's sexually inappropriate for a child, all of a sudden, we are book banners. Nothing could be further from the truth. And I do know that Moore County schools cover things up. They one cover up after another. The story that I reported on about the lady who was teaching and used inappropriate language and answered inappropriate questions, I believed, in her class, is being covered up. Let me read the statement that was issued by John Nagy's wife, the editor of the paper's wife, by his wife, Catherine Nagy, who is the only person allowed to issue any statements about anything coming out of those schools. Here's what she said about this sex investigation. She said they're, quote, nothing more than unverified and anonymous hearsay allegations. Listen, these things will never get a fair investigation. These quotes that came from the very person who knows everything about schools to say they're nothing more than unverified. Well, to even say they're unverified, instead of saying, well, we're going to investigate these, she said they're anonymous. That's a lie. Miss Nagy, and I might add your husband, John, you two lie often. And John Nagy, if you would like to come in here and defend your position at the paper, at the pathetic pilot, let's do it. Let's get together on air live, and let's talk about. I've got documented evidence that you guys lie, and you do it blatantly.
Here's Nagy's impression. Hey, John, glad to have you here.
Yeah, right, right. And then they say they're not only anonymous allegations, but they're hearsay. Do you guys realize we're not in a court of law? You can throw hearsay around all you want. Hearsay means nothing in a newspaper. If you want to say, if you want to go to law school, Nagy, and you could do what I would do if I wanted to go to law school, go to law school. But you're not an attorney, and for Mrs. Nagy to say these are hearsay allegations, what does that even mean? Let me just tell you where I'm coming from here. There were, at the time she released this, they had all kinds of complaints that were not anonymous, Some were in verbal, some were in writing, some were from a parent, and some were from a child that sat down and talked to this principal. You guys just issued a lie, a complete lie. I'm sorry, but that's what you do. You cover things up. I expect this to be covered up. You sent a man around to investigate this. Parents, let me ask you this. And by the way, again, if your kid if this isn't your kid, this isn't your business. That's what this school board believes. If this isn't your kid, this isn't your business. We have a email that one of the former school board members, the chairperson, Helena Waller Miller, sent out that said, hey, don't listen to these grandparents. Don't listen to these citizens. You do what you think's right. We've got that email. That's the way they think. And that's not the way that I think. I believe that if I see a child and there's something going wrong, I should not say, oh, look at that man, what he's doing to that child. Well, it's not my child. What do I care? I think we have an obligation to speak up. I don't think we're being unreasonable here. This is not some right-wing nutcase idea that you defend children. I just don't understand how they can think like this, and this thing about not believing the child, not believing the girl, that's old school stereotype stuff. I have another case. We could talk all day about all the different things, but since I spoke on this on radio the other day, I'll continue with it. A girl was sexually assaulted at the school. Another girl who witnessed it was assaulted, trying to keep her from going out and talking about it. This has been covered up. It's being covered up as we speak. The parents cannot get the video from where it happened. They can't get the police report. You tell me why. The principal told her she couldn't get the police report because it involved minor children. Well, one of those children was her own child. And you can't get the police report? She can't get, they can block out the name of the kid. Who cares, even though she knows who it is? There's ample evidence to indicate that an assault took place. Two things must happen. One, we've got to stop this old school stereotype thing of we're not going to believe the woman. We're not going to believe the girl. The boy said he didn't do it. That's good enough for us. Two is we've got to stop the schools from investigating the things that they're accused of doing. Right now, if you have a problem, if parents have a problem, and they believe their child has been assaulted or even raped in this one case, if they believe there's been an assault or rape or any type of anything, you know who they call? They call me. A lot of them do. And why do they? Bob Levy, school board member, said it's a shame that they would call a talk radio guy instead of calling us. And the reason they don't call the school is because they know that these things will be covered up. Most of the time, they don't even give a reply. You know, all I'm asking for is openness and fairness, and for the schools to start releasing the information on these things. I don't expect them to tell you that Billy and Henry got in a fight last week, but I do expect them to say, last week we had 10 fights, or 3 fights, or 1 fight. And I think you have a right to know that as a parent. And here's why. Because your children are going to these schools, and I do not believe that you could possibly know or understand how much violence is going on, how much sexual activity is going on, wanted and unwanted, sexual harassment is going on. I don't believe you could have any way of knowing this unless we reported on it, and the schools openly admitted some of these things. We can never fix them. I don't think you could know about the rampant, unbelievable drug availability in these schools and drug use. I don't think that you could possibly know about the amount of disrespect for teachers, the way that kids talk to teachers. I don't think that this is unreasonable. I hope that no one would listen to me and say, well, that's outrageous that he would want to know this from the schools. Moore County Schools used to be a place where you would come and you would say, let's move to Moore County. These schools are, from all I've heard, are wonderful. That's why we moved here years ago. Now Moore County Schools have become a joke, a complete joke, a laughing stock. And all that the schools would have to do to fix this is 2 things. One, make them safe, and that means make them safe by letting us know what's happening. Tell us what we can do to help as parents and as concerned citizens. Just open up. Just tell us the truth. That's all anyone is asking. Why all this secrecy? And the second thing is start teaching our children. Have a system to where they, and this is going to be a surprise to you, have a system in which they can learn. And they are not learning now. If your child is brilliant and doing well, you're very blessed. But there are, whatever it is, 40 in the 40-something percentile range of every single 8th grader in these schools cannot read to proficiency level. And that means they're going to have trouble getting in college. There's only, as far as I can tell, there's only one reason that kids should go to school, and that is to prepare them for life, to prepare them to be successful in their life. And I don't know, Steve, I don't know why this is such a hard concept for people to accept, and I don't know why the schools and the school board, and of course I'm speaking against the 4 legacy school board members. Let me just say this. There's a case, and I'm not going to be able to do this justice because I have not been able to look through this the way I'd like to. But before the new school board members, I mean, literally hours before the new school board members were sworn in, they were notified that we have just settled a lawsuit. And that lawsuit was in the amount of $200,000, and it was given to a young lady. And by the way, this young lady was a victim. And I hate talking about this too much because this young lady was a victim. She does not deserve to have her name dragged through the mud. But I do want to point out that this is a multi-page lawsuit that was settled, and I have it in my hand and can make it available in case anyone thinks I'm not telling you the truth. And the reason this lawsuit was settled is because this girl was preyed upon time and time and time again by a sexual predator who was wearing the uniform of a police officer in the Moore County schools. He was a Moore County resource officer, someone who this girl placed it, and her parents, by the way, placed a great amount of trust. And there were so many people and so many folks who had an idea about this. I'll just read number 73 in the bullet form I'm looking at in the lawsuit. It says, however, Principal Christina did nothing to prevent the frequent visits and failed to further investigate the matter. And the reason I say that, and by the way, she was assistant principal at that time, Stephanie Phillips, was because that lady knew there was something going on. There were ample opportunities for her to report this. The girl was a victim at that high school. She did not know. I've heard from parents, Steve and folks, I've heard from parents, I can't even tell you how many parents I've heard from that said, please don't say anything. Please don't mention my name in this, because they're afraid. And they've said things like this. My daughter has not been riding the bus, and I didn't know it. And she was afraid to tell me because she knew that I would be upset about it, and she was afraid I might go to the schools. And of course, I don't go to the schools and say anything because they'll just cover it up and say, no, it's not happening, because that's what we're used to. We're used to, if you go up there and tell you, this is what we are used to. We're used to, if you report these things, they're covered up. They are not truly investigated. Schools have got to stop investigating themselves. I completely do not have any faith in, I don't know what the police out there will do, the resource officers, but I know this. The principals, not, of course, not every principal, but the superintendent and the principals have had a history of covering these things up. So let me just say this. If you have an atmosphere that's been built in these schools, an atmosphere where there's open drugs, there is sexual activity occurring, there's a book that some parents, and I am with them, feel is completely inappropriate in a library. If you have an atmosphere of complete disrespect, when you have a teacher, as I reported last week, that goes into a classroom and for the first day of school says, state your name and a curse word. Why is that guy still working there? Kids drop the F-bomb. What is your name, and tell me your favorite curse word? Why is he still working there? It's not right. I named his name. I can't remember what his name was now, but I named it on the radio. These things are all terrible things, I believe. One of the books that they have a picture of, that like, why are we banning these books? One of the books that they're in favor of is The Joy of Sex. The Joy of Sex. So you want your child, instead of you being out there screaming to high heaven, my child can't read, or my child is black, and only 7% of these black children can read the standard. Why are you not doing that instead of saying, why are you banning the joy of sex? So that's what you want your child. That's your biggest concern. You want your child to go to school and not learn reading, writing, math. You want them to learn about the joy of sex. That's every parent's dream in these grades, these young children, to send them to school. Perhaps maybe they'll find out about the joy of sex. I can't imagine. Let me just change subjects here for 1 second and talk about TD Bank. While Steve and I were sitting here earlier, a gentleman called about TD Bank. I just now got a text from a lady who sent me some pictures of the things she got. TD Bank is running a scam or supporting a scam or the victim of a scam or something. If you get anything from TD Bank right now, you'll probably get a bunch of checks that are worthless. You'll get some debit cards that are worthless. You'll get a overdue notice and maybe telling you owe some money. The first thing you should do is to pick up your phone and call whatever law enforcement agency, whether it be Pinehurst, Southern Pines, whatever police agency it takes care of you, and just make a report. And they don't have the ability to investigate this at their level, but have a report on file. And then do your best to contact the bank. It'll do no good, but I would try to if I could record the conversation with the banker, I would. Do all you can. If you listened yesterday, you know that I talked to Treasurer Dale Falwell, the state of North Carolina treasurer, and sending him an email, which he requested, and he said he promised to contact the top banking officials in this state and see what we need to do as consumers, because I got this scam too. I was scammed. And I know a lot of people that were. So a lot we talked about. TD Bank, do not hit the panic button. If you get something from them, you'll be able to fix it. Maybe you should take some actions and I will, to freeze your accounts and things like that in the future. Remember this quote: if it isn't your child, if it isn't your kid, it's none of your business. Now, I don't agree with that. I think that's what the schools, I think that's kind of their motto. If it's not your child, it isn't your business. Last thing I want to say is be sure. Please, if you've never so much as gone to a barbecue or a picnic, I hope you'll make sure that you show up at the Moore County School Board meeting on February the 14th. Take your date out before or after, or make that your date. There's not going to be a more important time for you ever to go anywhere, ever, than it is for you to be at this school board meeting. If you want to show up and support this book being in schools, if you want to show up and support filthy talk in schools by a teacher, if you want to show up and support this teacher encouraging curse words and covering up rape, covering up assaults, I've posted on my Facebook page some of the fights, and I'll be posting more. I'm getting emails now like, hey, my son is afraid to help me download any more of these fights because he feels like they may think that he's one of the informants. That's the kind of fear these kids are living under. Kids are afraid to go to school. If your child is a timid, maybe a smaller person, maybe a person who doesn't really stand out as someone who wants to fight, they're potential victims. So we'll talk to you tomorrow. Hope you have a good day.
All right. Thanks, John. We'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on WEEB, because they live here, work here. This is their community too. So let's support our neighbors first before you head off to some mega mart who ships all their money out to Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and China. And also, don't forget, millions of Americans have fought. They have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the LeaderMan, and Nick and Colt the dog will all see you this afternoon at the Sunny Dog Park.